Then we go ahead and put the bridle on her? Or?
Yeah, and I want to tie her tongue first.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And we'll put the bridle on her.
All right.
I guess you notice, ladies and gentlemen, that Lupe undid the bit on one side, and I'm going to let Rob tell you why when he goes to put this bridle on.
Well, some of these colts want to, you know, they're green and they want to suck their mouth up, their tongue up, and so I like to tie their tongue. A lot of them won't. A lot of them will just get the bridling and mouthing that bit, and they'll keep their tongue down. This filly here wants to move her tongue up above the bit, and she's awfully green, and as you can see, she's had, this will be the second time she's been long line. Okay, you go get a tongue tie over there, Lucy.
For how many times a back pad?
She's had a saddle on her half a dozen times.
Before the back pad?
Before the back pad. Now, this is the second time she's had this back pad. She's been long line one time.
Now, Rob, when you put a saddle on a horse for the first time, what do you do with them then? Just let them wear it?
Yeah.
For an hour or 15 minutes?
In the stall?
No, out in the corral or the round pen.
You turn them loose or lead them?
I want a colt learn to move forward. I don't want him standing still in the stall. I like a horse to learn to move forward, and they'll learn to give off the bridle and learn. And you don't teach them anything standing still in the bridle. I mean, in the stall. To me, I want a colt out there moving.
Do you run into any issues with these horses getting started, putting saddles on them?
This will be the second time this filly's had her tongue tied. I mean, you can see she hasn't been handled.
That's good.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So, and I saved her just for this demonstration.
Perfect.
I hope she's not going to be too much for me.
Do you run into issues putting the Western saddle on the first couple of times? I know it's a heavier saddle than what we do, as far as getting cinch bound or anything like that.
You got to have discretion. You got to be very sympathetic on cinching them up, and but we brush them with the blanket, and we brush them with the saddle to try to get them gentle to it.
Now, your way of tying a tongue, I see you looping it around the tongue and then tying around its chin. You don't pull that tight. You're letting that slide somewhere.
Right. Okay, get that bit there, Loopy. And I start all my colts with a hollow mouth D-ring snaffle. It doesn't hurt their mouth, and a lot of times, I told you we talked about hurting a horse's mouth. A lot of times these colts I'll put a little Vaseline. I don't want their mouth to get sore. Okay, Loopy, she knows you. We're going to take this halter off of her today. You think she'll get away from us, Loopy?
Loopy, you're going to be a movie star.
Loopy's really good. He's quiet, and he works around these colts, and before long he'll get them dropping their head down. And
this is what I was talking about a moment ago. It wasn't that Lupe had undone the bit from one side of the bridle, and you're going to see why.
You're going to see why right now. She doesn't know too much about that bit. She doesn't know anything about the bit.
No cavesson.
No, I don't. No cavesson.
How do you feel about cavessons as far as locking them tight, loose?
I like two fingers in them.
2 fingers, no matter what. That's the rule. I know there are exceptions.
Some of them I have just snug, but a tight cavesson to me is you're just locking them up, and they never learn to relax and get to moving their tongue with a tight cavesson. I like them 1 or 2 fingers, hopefully 2 fingers, and
you use a lot of rawhide cavessons.
I like that Bosell deal. It's how I grew up as a kid with those Western horses, and it just lightens a horse up. You can lighten a horse up faster around the outside of his face than you can in his mouth.